Let me tell you just a few things, and then we are going to leave it alone. So, all finding money in businesses, first of all, divides into two big categories, internal and external, right? There is no other place to get money. We're either going to find it inside the business, or we're going to find it laying around outside the business that we can use the business in order to get it. It's the only two places there's money, right? Otherwise, you got to inherit it or marry it. That's it. So internal, your left-hand column is really the three ways that we organize the movement of money. We either get it in straight lines, like you pay to be here, and then you want the recordings. That's a straight line means of getting money, right? And you want to come back next year, right? We're moving sequentially from this to this to this in a very natural and logical order. If we wanted to get more sophisticated with it, we could. The unedited recordings could be one price with transcripts, another price with the little squirrel's mind map, another price. So every one of these steps could be, could be jazzed up if we felt like it. But it's a straight line, right? Then you have the pyramid, with which you are all very familiar with because you're in it. So the pyramid means of liberating, finding, and creating money is you're at this level. Some percentage of people will move up to this level. Some percentage of people will move up to this level. Some percentage of people will move up to this level, all the way up to where you got one person, but he'll pay you $10 million a year to hang out with you or bring his dog to you. But I shot an infomercial, by the way, you'll appreciate this, in Hollywood years ago with Gloria Loring, Alan Thicke's ex-wife, soap opera actress. And Gloria, I shot 3 shows with Gloria. I managed to, nobody got along with her. I got along with her. I thought she was amusing, but difficult. So we have a 4-day shoot. Gloria brings her dog to the shoot every morning because she doesn't want to leave the dog at home. And then a chauffeur in a limousine takes the dog to the dog park to get it shampooed for the entire time we're shooting the show, and then comes back with the dog, and then they go home. This is in our show budget. All right? I'm like, I don't wish anything ill, but I'm thinking, if this thing is a little sickly and it picks today, this might be a good thing. I mean, I think we spent just shy of 10 grand on the damn dog, right? So pyramidal, you guys all understand pyramid, right? And most people underestimate in every business how far you can stretch the top of the pyramid. And the pyramid can be core services, it can be ancillary services, etc. The third box, spider web, that looks sort of like my theory of business diagram. Here's this thing that happens, a product they buy, a service they buy, an experience they have, a place they come. Now, what are all the different things we can connect to that they might also want to do? So Disney, the 2 ways they're trying to deal with their we have too many customers problem. One is just raising the prices. And 2, they're trying to take what they have and create more ways to absorb bodies for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour and a half, using the same thing. So like Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is where you're staying, right? So they are spider webbing Animal Kingdom Lodge. You're booked on a couple things, right? So originally, here's what was there. Stay in a room, stay on the concierge floor, and there's restaurants, and you can go out and look at the animals. That's where it started. Okay? Now they have spider web 56 different excursions, all occurring on the grounds of the damn thing. We load them up on trucks, and we take them out and drive them around the same savanna that they can see from their room, and we bounce them around in this truck, and we stop over here, and they tell them about the giraffe, and the giraffe sticks his head in the truck, and everybody's excited, and they stop over here, and they give everybody an African cracker and a bottle of some wine that they claim came from Africa. They drive you around for an hour, 18 people in a truck, on the grounds of the hotel that you're staying at, looking out the window at. All right? And they're spider webbing around this thing they already have. Okay, so those are the three boxes. Those are the three places we go in. If I'm consulting, these are the three things I think about when I look at somebody's business. Okay? Is there straight line stuff they're missing? Is there pyramid stuff they're missing? And is there spider web stuff they're missing? All right? Then there's 7 main places where there might be found money. One is in price strategies. Okay? It deserves an entire day next year. There's usually a lot of found money in price strategies. People leave just a ton of money on the table just because they don't create options and extras and all of that. Then there's selling strategies. And that divides into everything that leads up to the sale event, however that happens. Me standing on a stage selling to you, me face-to-face selling to you, closing a sale on a phone, then watching a video online and then ordering something. Whatever the selling event is, then everything that leads up to it. So like, Ari, where are you? Okay? See the wall, okay? Just the wall. See, that's a lead up to the selling event item, right? And if you walk into 90% of offices of any kind where a sale event takes place, you will not find a wall of success. It's not that it's anything new. You didn't invent, fire over there, but you won't find it. I fought this with chiropractors since the 80s. Why is there a picture on your wall of 4 horses jumping over a river? What the hell is that doing for you? Why don't we have patient of the month? Why don't we have testimonials? Why don't we have, right? And so everything that leads up to the sale, now we want to look at. Then what happens during the sale, at the sale. That's the closing room. What kind of chair do they sit in? Sydney, where are you here? Is Sydney still here? There. So Sydney went and did a spa, high-end spa. Walk in, look around, play customer, experience it, right? And the list is long. Right? And all these little things add up. You're selling to women. Here's the room you put. Now, it wouldn't occur to me, by the way, but the minute I saw it in your notes, I got it, and I've taught it to people ever since. You're selling to women. They're going to come in and they're going to sit in a room. Where's the thing to hang their purse? Huh? News to me. But there should be a hook on the chair, on the side of it. There should be some place to hang the purse. They don't want to put the purse on the ground. Never occurred to me, but there it is, right? All that stuff matters. Dr. Roy's at Cleveland Clinic. So in this category, by the way, what I would say to most people is one of the things you can help yourself with a lot is getting rid of the damn PowerPoint presentation. This is like pie charts for financial advisors. Right? I could increase most of their incomes by 20% if I just got rid of the damn pie charts. God, they love these things. Color-coded, 10% of your money goes here, 4% of your money goes there. Every single one of them uses them. A lot of them use the same ones. So like everybody that's with Prue uses the same pie charts. Right? But so does everybody with another one. They look alike. When I interviewed private bankers, I went through 9 of these guys. Every one of them opens up a laptop, starts to show me pie charts. I'm going, oh, fuck me. Yeah. So Roy's in at the Cleveland Clinic. They have PowerPoint presentations for all the docs. So when the doc is telling you whatever he's telling you, whatever the diagnosis was, he's got a PowerPoint presentation for that. All of them got them. Roy's won't use them. Oz's partner. He says, the last thing, no. He says, I got a legal pad and some color markers. He said, by the way, I'm doing the same shit that's in the PowerPoint presentation. I'm doing it on a legal pad for you with my markers, because then you feel like I'm actually thinking about you. If I show you the damn PowerPoint presentation, you know it's the same PowerPoint presentation I show everybody else. So I'm not thinking about you at all. He said, now candidly, between you and I, the shit I'm drawing on this legal pad is the same shit I draw for everybody that has your particular problem. He says, but most people don't know that. You would, but most people don't know that, right? He said, so I never use the PowerPoint presentation. So what happens at the selling event? Is there any issues there? And then what happens after the sale, which is big? Most people don't exploit it. In some businesses, there needs to be a save to prevent the sale from unscrewing itself, right? Our world, that's big. It's not in every world, but it's in some worlds. But the other part of it is, when is somebody most likely to make a second purchase from you? When they are happiest. When are they happiest? Right when they bought. With many things, they'll never be happier, because whatever it is you sold them, when they go to use it, it ain't going to be exactly what they thought it was going to be. They can never, when's the IKEA buyer happiest? In the store. In the store. Their happiness goes down just like this. All right? From loading the damn thing in the car, to getting it out of the car, to unpacking it, to starting to assemble it, to it's missing 6 parts, to I needed a 5-millimeter screwdriver and I ain't got one, to and I finally got it built and it's doing this. All right? See, the happiness went. The time to get the next money was right here. That's where the time was to get the next money. And a lot of businesses do nothing after the sale. I can always find money there. It's like the restaurant thing. You go to a restaurant again and again and again, unless it's Christmas or Father's Day, nobody pitches you on gift cards. Why not? People give away gifts all year long. Right? Hey, before you get out of here, 3 gift cards. I'm sure you got birthdays and stuff all year long. 3 gift cards tonight, and you get a free bottle of wine card for you for the next time you come in. You want me to add them to your check before I ring it? You know how many people are going to say yes? I can tell you. Anybody know? 20%. It makes sense. It's convenient. It's a good offer. Not a tough script for people to memorize. We can pay the wait staff to do it. Right? 20% are going to say yes. Non-redemption runs about 20%. So if that's a $100 sale, 20 bucks of it is 100% profit, because they're never going to redeem the card. The rest of it, at least you get to use the money, and somebody's going to come in who wasn't a customer, which now if you have a decent process, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then the third thing is loss prevention. Greatly neglected in most businesses. This is all still internal, with leads, with customers, and in operations. Warren Buffett's first rule of investing is don't lose money. Same thing here. Don't lose money. replacing money lost is really expensive. So if you have a lead cost of $40 a lead and you squander a lead, how much did you lose? See who's good at math. At least 80. That's exactly right. You lost the one you just lost, plus you have to replace them. You didn't lose $40. You lost $80. But that's bad math. Let's say you convert 1 out of 5 leads. No, 1 out of 4. You convert 1 out of 4 to a customer value of $1,000. And you lose a lead. Now what did you lose? $250 plus the 80, $340. That's right, you lost $340. Okay? If you're in a 50% tax bracket, what do you have to bring in to replace $340? $680. Losses are real expensive. That's why convenience store owners need to worry about grazing. Doesn't sound like much. I got 8 clerks, they eat each an apple pie and they drink a couple of Cokes a day. What's the big deal? I can show you the math. It's a big damn deal. This is a big damn deal, loss prevention. Then we shift to external. So we're going to talk about all this in depth on the call. Next we switch to external. And there's growth, which is how do we grow the business? How do we make this business do more? There's expansion. How do we take the business out over here? That might be more outlets like Steve is doing, just buying up underperforming pet stores. Right? That might be licensing, might be franchising, might be getting in the info marketing business, and then diversification. So the 2 things we do with diversification is we follow their money, meaning the customer's money. And that's a horizontal picture. So this customer is giving us money for X. What else are they buying from other people who they might be happy to give us the money for too? So Disney's in the hotel business, right? Get in the cruise ship business. Right? Well, if they'll stay with us on land, maybe they'll stay with us on sea. It's a horizontal movement. Follow their money. One way to know that is take a survey. So 3,000 of you who stayed with us in hotels this month, how many of you took a cruise in the past year? 800. Okay. Follow the money, right? That's horizontal. Vertical is follow your money. What do you spend money on to drive your business, and should you own it? Or should you own a piece of it? Where does your money go? Right? So the next 2 pages give you some sample questions for every one of the sections of the money map. Okay? And we will do much more with it on a call in the not too distant future. Principle 18, your page 67. Trying to leave a little time here for Q&A before we finish for the day. Principle 18 is the principle of overwhelming force. So, this is not in your manual, but I tell clients this all the time. Winning is rarely done gently. And the really great coaches run up the score. They are not well liked. But the coaches everybody knows, who are legends, Bear Bryant in college football, Woody Hayes in college football, ran up the score. They didn't just beat you, they left you so demoralized you couldn't play the game for another 3 years. They wanted you weeping when you left the field to go to the locker room. Bear kept the first string in most games, and they were up by 50. They give a shit. Kill them. We want them dead, laying on the ground. Same thing in business. Right? See, Bezos isn't trying to just win. He's trying to dominate categories. He's trying to be a category killer. Overwhelming force takes on a momentum of its own. If you want momentum in business, you get it from overwhelming force. So there's scheming about how to confound and crush. By the way, all the great winners, so you're going to see a little clip of Paul Newman tonight in the whole movie thing I built for you. So Paul Newman, I'm sure you know, very liberal guy, from a perspective of let's be charitable and kind and kumbaya. And he probably wouldn't have been a Sanders voter, but he damn sure would not be a Republican voter of anything. So the food company he established, essentially to be charitable, it's gone, as of last year, it's passed on $700 million to charities. So I mean, the thing passes over some money. He surprised people by saying the following: now that I'm heavily into peddling food, I understand for the first time the romance of business, the juice you get from crushing your competitors. I like bumping them out of prime shelf space and making them hate us. This is Paul Newman. I don't know if you know the Sinatra story, but Sinatra, his career was like nearly dead when he fought to get the part in From Here to Eternity. And he took almost no money. He was borrowing money constantly from the girlfriend of the time just to get from place to place. He was so broke. And he got nominated for an Oscar. And Sinatra's line is, saying it's an honor just to be nominated is a lousy lie. The only real satisfaction is winning and seeing the tortured, contorted faces and fake smiles of the losers you beat, especially when they thought they had it sewn up. Dave Thomas, Wendy's, forcing a Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Burger King to close. That's when I first felt like we were getting somewhere. Once I got that taste of blood, that's what I wanted to do in each city. Put them out of business. This is the truth about big winners in everything. They want to kill and dominate, not just get their fair share. For years, when I was speaking in situations where there were breakouts, I schemed to kill the other breakouts. I did everything I could think of to do, so I had 4 times as many people trying to get in my room as it would hold, and everybody else was in an empty room, standing at the door in what we used to call an MLM, the wish line, wishing there was somebody there. That's what I wanted. I just didn't want to divide the audience by 3. I didn't want my fair share. I wanted to kill that guy. And I wanted him to go up to his room depressed and hating Kennedy because he just had to speak to 3 people. That's how I knew I was getting somewhere. One of my top clients, he said, I don't know, probably the average growth of his competitors is double, 2 times year to year. His growth has been 30 times year to year for the last 3 years. He's hated by everybody. And he gets up every morning trying to figure out how to aggravate them even more. He's happy about the money, but he's really happy that he's the topic of disgusted and despised conversation in all of their other boardrooms. So if you want domination and you want overwhelming force, there's a pretty simple formula to do it. You've heard it before. I'm going to do the underlining stuff with it too. But the strategy is to be able to spend more money in your market to get your leads, to get your customers, than anybody else in your category can or will by the biggest margin possible. So I'll ask a client, what does it cost you to get a customer? Well, 86 bucks. I said, what do you think the average is? He said, I think I'm probably right about in the middle. I think there's some people spending a little more. I think there's some people spending a little less. I said, let's add a zero. Same thing I do with price. Let's add a zero. I'm a simple man. Let's add a zero. Let's figure out how you can spend $860. I don't want to spend $860. I said, yes, you do. I said, because you will walk around and watch everybody else in your category, in your marketplace, in dire despair. You will see them just fold up and quit out of just frustration. You will be reviled in your industry. So of course you want to spend $860. Let's figure out how to do that. This is a big shift for people. This is a big shift, you understand? Because what's everybody trying to do? Yeah, spend less. By the way, that's what most people come to me. Think about why they come to me. I want a better ad, which will generate, what is your definition of a better ad? One that produces more for the same amount of money I'm spending now or less. That's their definition of a better ad. So like when Weight Watchers comes to me and says, well, we want you to do a direct mail campaign, we need a better direct mail campaign. What do they really mean? They mean we need a direct mail campaign that will get a fat person to a meeting for less money than we're spending now. And I have to have the conversation, let's add a zero to what you're spending now. Let me design a campaign that works worse than anything you've ever done in terms of cost per sale. So we can go kill everybody. This is beyond, nobody's ever thought about this, right? It just is the furthest thing from their mind. Here's how you can do it now. Let's say you set out to do it. One, in many businesses you can get there by shortening the buying cycle. If they buy faster, that means you're taking the same marketing dollar and turning it over more often, every week, every month, every year, every quarter, every year. Okay? So sometimes just shortening the buying cycle can help. Second, obvious, make the customer worth a lot more in as many ways as possible. If your cost per acquisition is $86 and you lust after it being $79, why? Because the customer's only worth X. If we can make the customer add a zero, you won't be so grumpy about add a zero to the acquisition cost. If we can add 2 zeros to the customer value and we only have to add 1 zero to the acquisition cost, you'll love me. So I never just write copy, by the way. I start like here. I want to create a situation where I can't fail. How can that be? I can raise your cost of acquisition through the roof. Now I can't fail. Because now I can send everything by FedEx. I don't have to send it by mail. I can put a dancing girl in a box instead of a picture of a dancing girl. I can have 4 phone calls made. I can do all this shit, right? And now I can't fail. Well, you want to be in the same position. The question is, how much are we going to win by? Not, are we going to win? That's like the New England Patriots question. Belichick's sitting around saying, how much are we going to win by this week? The rankings, by the way, just came out for next year. The consensus of sports journalists thing that ESPN does about the percentage likelihood of winning your division. So New England is 92%. 92%. The other teams are dividing up 4%. The Jets, 0%. It's like, just don't even bother playing. You have no hope. All right? So their conversation is, here's what their conversation is. Can we manage to look respectable? His conversation is, how many touchdowns do you think we can beat the Jets by? I mean, where would you rather be, right? So that's what this is. So this becomes now, whoops, why we want to agonize over every way we can increase the value of the customer, short-term and long-term, right? If they'll pay $12.95 for shipping and handling instead of $8.95, that matters because we're going to get to that at a zero in pieces. We're not going to get there in one big leap. We're going to get there in pieces. Keep the customer longer. That increases their value automatically. What can we do? The phone business, the cellular phone business, that's all about one more month. The money's in one more month. In most continuity businesses, the money's in one more month. Plug all the holes in the bucket. Because I just showed you, it's losses that destroy your economics. Every hole matters. That's why if you run an auto repair store on Saturday, when people call up to say, do you have a part for a 1962 Plymouth Belvedere, you can't put them on hold. You can't. Because some of them, while they're on hold, are going to hang up. And they're going to call the next place. They can't be on hold. It isn't, so, well, we keep them on hold for our standard here is no more than 3 minutes on hold and we play them music. No. The standard has to be 0 minutes on hold. You can't afford the loss of that guy. It's cheaper to have another human, as shitty as they may be, at $15 an hour to talk to them, even if they can't answer the question. They can keep talking to them until the guy you can find the part can talk to them. So you got to think about how do we plug every hole in the bucket. Monetize leads, not just buyers. Not everybody can do it, and it's not always worth doing, but for the most part, it is. So most people think only in terms of the cost of getting a customer and making money on the customer. The question is, how can we make money on leads? Just simple answer, in many cases, you can at least swap them with somebody. Okay? And if their leads are as good as yours for you, you just cut your cost of lead by half. But let's say their leads are only, it takes 10 of their leads to be as good for you as one lead is from you to them. The dumb guy says, I'm not going to do that swap because it's not reciprocal. It's not fair. Their leads, I need 10 of them to equal one I give them. I fight this battle all the time. I'm going, what the hell difference does that make? That's emotional bullshit. They got leads you want. You got leads. You're fully monetizing with what you can do with them in your business. So they're trash beyond that. They're yesterday's fish. If you can get a dime on the dollar for them, we just reduced your lead cost by 10%. If we can find 10 bad swaps, we can reduce your lead cost by 100%. Forget all this reciprocity shit. People get all bound up in this. Oh, cosmetic dentist, I'm not going to share my leads with the spa because my leads are so much better than the leads I get from the spa. Yeah, but they're leads. Why do they? We're not running a scale here. You give me a pound of hamburger, I'll give you a pound of chicken. I mean, that's not what this is, right? We got leads. We're doing everything we can to get money out of them in our business. How can we monetize them outside of our business? Any way we can monetize them outside of our business is a good deal. Some deals are better than others, but there ain't no bad deal. If somebody who is not getting in your way will only give you for your leads, will bake pies for you to eat. And you like pies? Take the pies. If you don't like pies, take the pies and swap pies with somebody for leads. This was Walt's whole deal. It's how he got the animatron Lincoln done. He went to get the guys to do it, and they said, we don't want to do it. And Walt's guys say, we'll pay you. The guy said, doesn't matter, I don't want to do it. We'll pay you any amount of money you want. I don't want to do it. They come back to Walt and say, guy won't do it. Walt says, everybody wants something. Go find out what he wants. He says, well, what if it's something we don't have? Don't matter. Everybody wants something, and everybody's got something that somebody wants. Find out what he wants. We'll go over, and we'll get it, hopefully by trading something we got that they want, but he don't. If we have to, we'll do that 18 times in order to get what this guy wants so we can get him to build Lincoln. Now, that's how Walt thinks. His people didn't think that way. Get your investing in lead and customer acquisition by getting it subsidized. Little known truth. Most growth businesses are subsidized. Some of it is really unfortunate and disreputable, but it exists. Tesla exists only because of government subsidy. Tesla gets carbon credits, which they sell for cash. You, Mr. Taxpayer, who will never drive a Tesla, you lucky devil, you give carbon credits, which is fake currency we print, to Tesla. And Tesla then sells it for cash. Isn't that lovely? If you live in California and you want to buy a Tesla, we pay $4,800 of the sale price of the car. Isn't that sweet? Okay? It's subsidized everywhere. Amazon's dominate category is completely subsidized. That's how they exist. Okay? It's subsidized by their cloud services and their platform services business. In some cases, they're getting money from the same people they're killing to go kill them with. These businesses are using Amazon services, so they're giving Amazon bullets. Amazon is then taking the bullets and shooting them. Amazon couldn't afford to go shoot them if they didn't get the bullets from somewhere outside of the core businesses. So we all know, for example, sponsors, exhibitors, right? This business is subsidized. I would like as much of it subsidized as humanly possible. So I get to keep all the money from the core business. So there's a subsidy from every exhibitor. There's a subsidy from every sponsor. The trip to the track is subsidized by the little dude over here, right? So that's good. My books, subsidized. We sell paragraphs, we sell pages, we sell chapters. Okay, they're subsidized. But you all know the sponsor deal. And the question is, why can't everything be presented by somebody? A lot of people don't think about this. So why can't Monday Night Football night at your bar be subsidized by somebody who'll pay to park a bunch of sport cars out in the parking lot, and a car dealer pays to sponsor Monday Night Football night at your bar? Why not? Okay. The only thing they think of is getting the beer vendor to give them some free beer to be the official sponsor of Monday Night Football. What about the car dealer? So subsidies matter. Advertisers, be in the media business. That Sun Valley awning thing I showed you, you know, I got it. It came in my order of pants from Orvis. It's in with my pants. Sunsetter Awnings is subsidizing Orvis's pants prices. But really, they're subsidizing Orvis getting new customers. Because if there's 5 different inserts in there, they're all paying Orvis. Orvis can take that money. It doesn't affect their core business, and they can jack up the amount of money they're willing to spend to get a first-time customer. create an express lane for a small percentage of buyers willing to make a large bundled prepaid purchase. It doesn't actually change the profit economics much, but it changes the cash flow. It's free use capital is what it is. So in chiropractic practices, when we did prepay, so prepay changed everything for the chiropractor who didn't just blow all the money on wine, women, and song. So we could take a practice that was doing $6,000 a month and have it do $80,000 a month in 2 months with pretty much the same lead flow because we did prepay. Treatment program prepay plus 3 years of maintenance plan for your entire family. $50,000. No, most people aren't going to do that. One a month, though, in a practice that was doing $6,000 a month is $56,000 a month. Our standpoint, we get to waive that guy. Look at our poster child. We took him from $6,000 a month to $56,000 a month. Everybody goes, ooh, right? How do we do it? Well, let's not talk about that so much because we did it with one stinking transaction, right? With one patient. Okay? That doesn't quite sound as exciting as it did before I told you how we did it. Most stuff sounds more exciting until you're told how it's done or you see it done. Amateur porn, no good. Pro porn, okay. Amateur porn, no. You see how they do it. Okay? So everything's that way, right? So express lane in a lot of businesses will a few people pay you a big sum of money for all your crap bundled together. What do the stadiums do? Seat licenses. You own a 10-year seat license. Then you get to pay. Some of you went on to, did any of you guys go over to Golden Oaks with me when we did the wealth thing down? You went, right? Yeah, you went. So Golden Oaks is Disney's multi-billion-dollar residential development. And with a straight face, they look at you and they tell, so they're already getting like $1 million. And then they look at you with a straight face and they tell you the annual dues and association fees and clubhouse fees and all that stuff, and it is, you'll fall on the ground. Right? Here's the latest deal. So those of you that were there will love this. It's like $100,000 a year is what it all adds up to, right? It was right around $100,000. 120, yeah. And so, yeah, Greg's more offended about it than anybody else because he's in the real estate business. And I mean, they practice, they have classes. She says this to you like she just told you how much the potato chips were in the vending machine. You know, here's the latest deal. I saw it the last time. I took somebody over there. Are you ready? You can prepay it for 20 years. You can prepay it for 20 years, and you get 2 years free. $20 years times $120,000. You can prepay it. I say, does anybody do that? She says, I didn't think anybody would. She says, I swear on Walt's grave, 1 out of 10. Now, it doesn't change their economics. If anything, it made them a little worse because they're giving away 2 years, okay, which they're giving away 20 years from now. They're the last 2 years. They ain't the first 2 years. But look what it just did to capital. See, it's free flow of capital, which allows you to spend more to get customers. Last, have 50 methods, not 5. Okay. So if you want to dominate, have 50 methods to get dollar cost average them. Don't do the cheapest ones. Last principle, kind of an obvious one. This is sort of an answer to, before we started, you asked me about new stuff. And how much new stuff, and do I know of any new stuff that's kicking ass and taking names and all that? So I do and I don't. But most businesses are best served by implement more, innovate less. People they really like to do the non-confrontational stuff. So every sales, you know the hell joke when everybody arrives at the podium, devil's checking them in, and the first guy's a really fat guy. The devil says, this is a bad place to be. You're going to be here forever. We try and let one person have one thing they like in the whole deal. The guy says, I'm 600 pounds. I like to eat. The devil says, okay, we'll make you the cleanup guy in the buffet, and you get all you can eat by working in a buffet. Great. Next guy up, he's got his shirt open to his waist. He's got gold chains around, car sales guy. Look, right, from Miami. And the devil says, what's your deal? Guy says, I'm a sex addict. The idea of eternity without a lot of sex. Devil says, okay, all right, we'll make you the towel guy in the brothel. And every third Friday, you get all you want for free. Guy says, great. Next guy, three-piece suit, tie, briefcase. Devil says, what's your story? He says, I'm a salesman. What do you want? Another brochure. If you're a sales manager, you get it instantly, right? So sales guys all want to go invent more sales aids. That's what they want to do. And they're always coming and asking for more sales aids. They need another brochure. We need another PowerPoint presentation. We need another VSL. If you have somebody doing social media marketing for you, they will be in your office every day wanting you to do another video. We need another video. We need another video. We need another video. All right? So we need another product. We need another product. We need another promotion. We need another this. We need another that. I just put in the newsletter, I forget who it was now, but they sent me the same for an auto repair business, which they've since sold, but the owners are still using it. Their mailing, their new mover mailing, looks like it comes from the kids, and it's done in crayon to come into dad and mom's auto store. They've been mailing it to new movers every month for 9 years. That's what you want. This is not what most people aspire to now, in part because they're sucked into all this new stuff that does not even permit evergreen for the most part. It destroys evergreen. And you wind up working for your media instead of your media working for you. See, I want the crayon letter. And I want the crayon letter at the mail house. And every month the mail house gets the new mover list and the crayon letter goes out. That's what I want. I don't want every other day. So I have a client who went through this. I'll give this to him. He gave it a good run. $500,000, 31-month experiment with Facebook. He said, it started with just hiring the team. Then I got to do these videos. Now, because I work at home a lot and only come to the office, we had to build a studio and a green screen at home. Now I got a video guy coming back and forth from the office to my house. Now every day it's, we need another video, we need another video, we need another video, we need another offer, we need another offer, we need another this, we need another that, right? He says, pretty soon we're having to stop doing some stuff I do that really works because I don't have time to do that. So we're doing half as many fast start classes for new customers because I got to do this. He said, it took me 24 months to figure it out. I just got a job that I didn't want, and I'm working for my media. He says, in the meantime, they got this letter I wrote for them in 1998. We still mail it every month. We FedEx it, but it still goes out every month. He says, even that was going out less because everybody was paying attention to this. So he ended it all. Okay? So for the most part, just because it's there and just because it can be done and just because it will produce some results doesn't mean you ought to be doing it. And if you got shit that works, figure out how to max that. Implement more, innovate less. Okay? Most people do the opposite because the invention and the innovation feels good. A lot of the boring stuff is what makes the money. For 9 years, we had to go by the inch TV show on the air, and the infomercial. And my client, Len, had a really bad habit of watching his own show. It's a show don't change, you understand. It's a half-hour infomercial. So he literally leaves the TV on now every night when he goes to bed because he wants to wake up and see his show. His wife literally moves out of the bedroom because it's insane. So he's watching his show 300 times a month. It ain't that good, you know. We shot the whole thing for 18 grand. I mean, it ain't, you know. And now he starts on me. It wasn't 6 months into the 9 years. Everybody's seen it. We got to do a new show. I go, no, Len, you've seen it. Enough for everybody. Everybody hasn't seen it. You're carrying the whole load of viewership here on your own shoulders. Go to sleep, you know. Now, by now, everybody's seen it. I said, what? Show me the numbers. Is there any decline in? No. I said, please, go do something boring that will make you more money. Leave this alone. Go focus on the media buying. See if you can squeeze another 10% out of the media buying. Go add another step to the back-end sequence to the unconverted leads. Mystery shop your phone telemarketers every day instead of every 3 days. Do some boring shit that maximizes the thing we have that works like a charm and leave it alone. Run it more, but leave it alone. Self-serving answer on my part would have been do another show, by the way. I'm like arguing against my own money in the short term. But my self-interest in the long term is best served by him leaving that show alone, right? But like everybody does this. They want to go screw it. Zig, bless his heart, every morning, the whole time we were on a PLO tour, he's up at the crack of dawn, going through his speech, taking a few things out to add topical references of the day from the town he's in or the newspaper. I'm going, Zig, for God's sakes. You know, you're 109 years old. Sleep in, will you? The speech works fine the way it is. You got it memorized. 3 days after you're dead, we're going to hear the speech coming out of the coffin. Just leave it alone. I haven't changed mine. I don't get up and I don't do that. Do I sell a lot of shit? Yeah, you sell a lot of shit. I says, per capita, do I sell, well, the ones I got left, do I sell as much stuff as you sell? No, you sell more stuff than I sell. I haven't changed this thing in 3 years. I don't want to change it. I just do it. You have been given that thing for 30 years. It works. Why do you want to screw with it every morning, right? Watch cartoons. Do something, but don't do that. Oh, no. No. I gotta make it contemporary. Oh, no. Zig, you know, you're wearing out the last few brain cells you got for no good reason. Everybody does this. They're screwing around with the thing that should be left alone and not doing all the boring crap to squeeze the last ounce of juice out of it. That's what you want to do.